What's up, everybody? And we are
Hi,
Top Gear, and
guys.
today we're gonna talk about Porsche. Look, I got my cap ready, my 918 Spider cap ready.
Yeah.
So welcome to Top Gear episode number 19. We're 19 episodes already, and it's been a great 19 episodes. I just love chit-chatting, talking about cars. So thank you for joining us. We're gonna talk about Porsches. Are Porsches really the best all-rounder sports car? And we're gonna discover that today.
Controversial.
Controversial. The two Porsche owners over here, but we wanna sort of like challenge it as well. And I think it's even though I think it is, there are things there aren't, and some cars aren't. I think it's a subjective point. It's hard for me to deny, but let's just bring some light into it. Because let's be honest, Porsche over the last decade, they have gained so much popularity. Caymans, Boxsters, 911s, Macans, Cayennes, Panameras, flying around. It became a household name. And a lot of people say that it is the perfect sports car. Now, so many factors of it being a perfect sports car. Maybe you are looking for a Porsche in the future. Maybe you're just looking for a sports car. Maybe you're just here to hang out, and that's fine. So I brought Adrian because Adrian not only owns Porsches, he's also so committed to his Porsche, the Zuffenhausen brand that he's. I jokingly call him the Zuffenhausen ambassador. Just those who don't know, Porsches where it's born is from Zuffenhausen, or in Stuttgart, Zuffenhausen. So I always make fun of Adrian, say that he's the ambassador, the Zuffenhausen ambassador. So I think the best person to talk about this is actually Adrian, because he has seen many Porsches. He has driven many Porsches. He's also part of the PCM, Porsche Malaysia Group, right?
Porsche.
And also Porsche Cayman Boxster Malaysian Group as well. So he's seen a lot of Porsches, and he has helped a lot of people acquire their Porsches also. So I think it's a great person to talk about Porsches. Yeah. Anyways, I met Adrian through Evo Club, and this is where you meet amazing people. If you want to sign up for Evo Club, club.evomalaysia.com. Sign up there. When MCO is over, you can get invited to drives and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, I met Adrian through Evo Club. His lovely Boxster. The first time I drove him was a Boxster, and he said chill drive, but then he drove not too chill. And I was my C43 at that time, so I was trying to chase him. It was fun. It was actually fun. He was driving. We were driving. We had a good fun. Like it was like we kept a good distance, and I felt immediately very easy to drive with this guy. So that's how I met Adrian. Adrian, why don't you tell the audience what do you do, man?
Hi, guys. Adrian here, the Porsche Lover. So actually run a couple of workshops in Glenmarie. So on the part-time, I moonlight as the Porsche Lover. So
Moonlight.
Yeah, moonlighting, correct. So basically, and the Porsche Lover started off because actually I didn't want to tell people that I was driving Porsches and everything. So I created this account on IG Insta saying the Porsche Lover, and then it just happened that I keep sharing, and then even to be also even the YouTube channel. So I didn't plan to be a YouTuber. You asked me 6 months ago whether I want to do YouTube videos. I would say no way in hell I'll do it. It's not easy. It's not easy. So I salute those guys who can do it. Yeah, really. Yeah, I mean, but
you got a lot of nice content, man. I'm watching almost every video you put out. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to Adrian's channel, go to YouTube, The Porsche Lover. I'll put a link later on The Porsche Lover.
Thank you.
Go and subscribe to his channel. It's not fancy, amazing, but he gives very easy, practical ways for you to understand Porsches very well, maintenance tips and stuff like that. So if some of you are thinking about getting a Porsche, there's a lot of maintenance parts in his channel as well. So it gives you a bit more, And I remember your first video. You said, "Hi everyone, I'm Adrian. I'm also the Porsche Lover. I eat, dream, or eat, sleep, dream, drive Porsche." And wow.
Yeah. A bit too offensive already.
I think no one can deny your enthusiasm for Porsche. That's 100%. If you guys feel the enthusiasm from Adrian's enthusiasm for Porsche, just let us know in the comments over there. And then talk about comments. All right, let's look at the comments over here. Let's please say hi so we know if you're here. Mitesh, thank you for tuning in all the time. Tan Hiao-Jian, thank you for tuning in. Anthony Montano, thanks again for tuning in. Juan MJ, Juan is running a chicken rice online chicken rice shop, amazing Hainanese chicken rice. Roshan Saranavan, Johan, hey man, Kenneson, good to see you again. Kenneson is on his hunt to buy his 911. Jonathan, Jensen, Ruben, hey Ruben from Macau. Hey man, thanks for tuning in all the time. Bobby is here. Adrian, wow, Kon straight away ask questions already. What the pros and cons of all right, we'll talk more about that later on. Let's see what. So many. Please say hi. Let us know where you're tuning in from as well. Walao, I share this video from Horizon. Oh, spam like love button. Oh, thanks lah, Bobby.
Thank you.
All right. So this session is all about Porsche and a lot of people. If you listen to a lot of journalists, right? Even before I own my Porsche, everyone keeps saying that it's the most dailyable sports car. It's the perfect sports car. It's the best all-rounder sports car. So today we're gonna dive in that subject, all right? And we're gonna ask Adrian, who have touched many Porsches, to explain why is it, in what factor it is, you know. And if you are watching here, please ask a question, say hi. If you know a friend that is bored at home, hey, send them a link. Join us for chit chat. Hang out in the comment sections. The comment section gets very busy. Hang out with other car guys. You know, social distancing doesn't mean you don't have to stop socialing. All right.
Indeed.
Yeah. So Porsche is indeed a very beautiful brand. I never thought that I'll fall in love with it until I bought my Porsche. I thought I'm always a BMW guy. You're gonna find out more about this. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. By the way, Adrian runs this amazing workshop in NSS Service Center. It will I highly recommend that you go on Facebook. Go and give them a like. Visit them in the future. If you're buying a second-hand car, they do amazing pre-inspection purchase. And the team is very, very attentive. And what you want from pre-inspection is for them to not just do the 12, 20 point check, whatever. They pay attention for a lot of things. Very thorough, very professional. Probably the cleanest workshop I've seen in my life. Even the toilet is clean. and a highest rated Google workshop. Yeah.
Yes.
In Glenmarie, right? So go get a visit at NS Service Center. They have amazing products over there, and I've learned so much about my car. And the team is very patient to explain to me everything what they're doing. So I love going to that workshop. Okay. So with that, we're gonna go for a quick break from our sponsors, and it's important we talk about insurance. So this talk here is powered by Evo Club Insurance. We're gonna go for a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna start into the conversation. Why is Porsche the perfect I'm gonna tone back a bit, the best all-rounder sports car? All right. Let's go for bye. All right.
You save about 1,000 plus.
To work out cheaper for me.
4,000.
215, even more.
It's for 200 plus. $400 of savings.
All right. So, by the way, guys, if you are thinking of renewing your insurance, not going anywhere anyways, hey, save up to 40% of insurance, right? Check it out. Evo Club Insurance, powered by Pro Mileage. Okay. So, Adrian, let's go back to the topic. A lot of good conversations tonight, because later on today we're going to talk about how Adrian's has we have so many things to talk about, but I want to bring up a story later on. Because this guy who is so passionate about Porsche, he actually sold his Boxster before. We'll talk about that after the next break. Why did he sell his Boxster? I felt so betrayed. I'm like, the Porsche lover sold his Boxster. He wouldn't even sell his Volvo, but he sell his Boxster.
That was a legit reason.
A legit reason. Come back later on. Okay. So, right. Porsche, is it the ideal all-rounder sports car? Why do you think so?
Wow, okay lah. If you ask me, yes lah, because I'm biased already. Okay, why I think it's the ideal sports car is because the thing is that the car is so, like I think you say, I'm sure a lot of guys watch the reviews, everything, is the main thing is dailyable. So what I mean by dailyable, that means you can drive the car from the track to the market to do yoga and then back to the home, all in a single car. So of course, I would say that the modern Ferraris are better already, but even the Porsche, like first I bought the car. The main thing is that I'm able to drive the car down to my favorite shopping complex lah. I go to Mid Valley a lot, Mega Mall. I go Pyramid a lot, 1U. So you must be able to go there. I buy my groceries. I can throw my groceries either in the back or in the front, so I can come back home. So that is why I say by dailyable. Yeah, and same time also is number 2 is reliable. If you see the history for Porsches the past couple of years, JD Power, there is a very famous survey company in US.
Yeah.
You can see the IQI, the initial quality survey. So they always rank pretty high for a sports car. You don't see Ferrari there. Because, okay, again, the sample size is too small, but you see Porsches there. So they actually rank pretty high for a sports car. Of course, that's a general as a brand. They have the Macan, the Cayenne, and everything. But general as a brand, they are very reliable. So I always share people, you see, you go for a driver, you go to whether Thailand or Malaysia, do you see old Ferraris on the road or old Lambos? Again, I'm not dissing Ferraris or Lambo, please don't get it wrong. But you see old Porsches on the road going strong, still going like a 50-year-old.
Confidence.
With confidence, correct.
Yeah.
So I still remember this insane story about 2 years ago where this group of friends of mine, they actually drove all the way to Mae Hong Son and then back to Bangkok and come down. So this guy drove the original the Carrera RS, the original one, the old school one, all the way. So it's like, wow. I mean, you cannot imagine. I mean, of course, don't talk about the value of the car lah. And there's no support crew, nothing at all. They just drove all the way up north and down. So I mean, that's solo in the group, but still, that is just insane. I mean, like you would not dare to do that for even a normal car. So you'll be sort of like, be scared lah. So if they can do that trip, what more on a daily basis lah? Yeah. Yeah,
I think I do want to say that as what I've understand with a lot of Porsche owners, one thing that always struck very commonly for me. Now, it's not the car doesn't break down, right? All cars got issues, right? Let's be honest, right?
Yep.
But I do notice Porsche owners are more confident with their cars. You know, they know that tomorrow I go start my car will start. You know, hey, you know, I'm not dissing my Italian car lover friends. Like I see here. Who is this? Let's see. Vikash from Speed Tribe X. He's a super Ferrari lover, and I'm not saying this to kiss my Ferrari friends, you know. But my Ferrari friends actually told me, Thomas, you know, Italian car is so emotional. You know, you take the car key, you feel emotional. Hey, coming from them, you know, because you take the car, he's like, hey, bro, you're gonna start today, you know. Then you start the car, bro, hey, engine light go come on or not? Any lights or anything or not? Oh, you know. But let's be honest, like Italians, the cars are so dramatic. It's crazy. It's crazy dramatic.
Correct.
But yeah, I think what makes it a really good sports car is that it does everything. It can go to the track, like you say. You can take it on twisty road. You go you can go you go back to your hometown, go for a long trip. You can go to yoga class. You can go to gym. You can go pasar, and then you can go home. You know, it's one of the few cars that you can do all of those together, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right. Like I think recently I shared on Insta. So I went to 2 years ago. It's a throwback lah. Went to Rao, tapao durian, put the durians in the car in my Porsche, and bring the durians back to KL.
But I would say one thing though, I don't know if you agree with me. One thing I feel that Porsche does better than the other sports cars is not just the engine, or I think one thing is the damping, the way the car damps, the way the car takes the road. You see, this is a very difficult thing. You know, you have to stiffen the body so that it's sporty, right? You can feel the feedback. But then if you're too stiff, then it becomes too bumpy, right? Then it becomes too, you know. So how do you find that sweet balance? And for some reason, Porsches just know how to make a car feel comfortable enough, but yet not too comfortable, too much body roll. Like there's always a sweet spot they hit. Even the 986, 987, 996, they just do it so well. So if anything, I'll forget the engine, right? I think the damping is I feel their best asset. What do you think? I think it's their best asset in terms of being a dailyable sports car.
To be honest, it's just a combination of things. So if you look at the history of Porsche, they actually set out to create a very lightweight, very nimble car. So, I mean, of course, the cars are heavier these days, but all the way they've been doing that. So even the original, the 356 and everything. So you can see in their history. I went to Zuffenhausen about 6-7 years ago for the visit.
Oh, I still want to go, man.
Yeah, you should. I mean, I implore anybody, if let's say you do have the funds, like it was a bucket list to check all the automotive museums in.
I think you need to become the ambassador. You organize a different housing trip. You take all the non-Porsche owners. You fly there, and then you come back, right? When they on the flight back, when they on the flight back already, then you really taking booking already. Hey, bro, which car you want? Which car?
Everybody, please show me. Everybody, show me the fridge magnet for Porsche. I bought so I bought one. The way there must buy a fridge magnet. Okay. Yeah. So you can see, they actually excel a lot in motorsports. I think they have the highest number of wins and medals and trophies in history. Even Ferrari so is nowhere near. I mean, you talk about in terms of total number from everything from rally to Dakar to everything. Like they have all the know-how and everything. That's right, and they put that technology into the cars itself. Yeah, that's right.
But I do notice something about Porsches. I noticed that compared to their sort of like rivals, they're not the most horsepowers. Don't you think that's something that? Yeah, and some people might always argue, say, look for a Cayman, right? For the kind of price for a Cayman, there are other cars that have way more horsepowers, for example, right? Or even 911, for example, right? Maybe a little bit more horsepowers. Now, would you think horsepower is something that important in terms of a sports car? And what do you think?
I will give a Yoda answer: yes and no. Okay. Yes, in a sense, is that you need to have enough sufficient horsepower to go, but
sorry. My wine glass decided to press the button for me. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So end of the day, when you see the new cars, I've always felt that like cars are just overpowered. The new cars, like just recently the Cayenne. Oh shit, man! It broke the Nürburgring record. It's faster than a Civic Type R on the Nürburgring. Insane! 2 ton, 2.3
the
ton.
Cayenne is some wizardry. You take the car around the corner.
Correct.
And then you realize that, hey, is this car 2 ton or not?
Exactly. Even the Macan, the 0.1, the pre-facelift. I mean, the current gen Macan, the pre-facelift one. I drove it. Wow! I was like mind blown, man. It's like you drive the car already. You cannot go driving back to other car. I mean, of course, if you must be an enthusiast, you drive the car. It's so hard to go back to other brands. It's like so tough because the car just drives so well. So back to your question, horsepower. Yes, to a certain extent, there is sufficient. But if you ask me, the sweet spot will be about 400 to 500 plus. That will be a sweet spot for horsepower. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think I always feel that although Caymans, for example, boxers are not that powerful, but they do have a sweet spot. That is enough. I realized something. If you just look at the paper, it's very hard to understand the Porsche on the paper, and it's something. Like even the base spec 987.1 Tiptronic Cayman, and the one of the beautiful thing about that car is that you can really rev the car in our country roads. But even my Spider, sometimes I feel like on those small roads, it's too much power. Sometimes like you cannot rev the car. So having less power actually works to an advantage. Like you actually have more fun driving the car.
Correct.
Yeah.
So there's a saying where it's always more fun to drive a slower car fast than the faster car not as fast.
Yeah, I mean, you have a faster car, but the car is out of balance and it's hard to handle. It doesn't damp the road very well. Then you may not have a lot of fun, even though it's faster, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Not at all, right? I don't know how to actually. I was doing this. I find that there's an issue right now. I'm going to confess to all the viewers. I created this topic and then I realized like, see, the problem is sometimes it's good to have somebody who oppose your idea. And then now the problem is me and Adrian, we both agree, you know. I used to think BMW is a great all-rounder sports car, like my M235i, which is still is. I still think it is one of the still very nice sports cars to have big space, big boot space, rear seat amazing, you know, and stuff. But it's just something about the Porsche, especially in the engine sound department. I would say the engine sound department.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's see. Let's just go to the comments and see if we can find anything exciting over here. Okay, let's see over here. Sorry, go ahead. What are you saying?
No, I think we go. I think Kon's question. Kon question. It's not
Let's not Kon question. Let's just go some questions that answer about Porsche. Guys, any questions about Porsche? Please let us know. Shoot it out. Okay. I'm gonna try my best to be anti-Porsche today. You know.
Yes, please.
I can't do it anymore.
Good
I can't do it anymore. I'm wearing the cap already. Yeah. Okay, let's go here. Adrian, what are the pros and cons of water-cooled versus air-cooled engines? So for some of our viewers, we don't know. There was a point, I think until 1995, I think, all the cars they had air-cooled engines. Then they had to do the first 996. They went into water-cooled, which was a really tough choice for Porsche because the purist was like, oh, this is blasphemy, burn all these people, you know, like Piggy Lai was the designer of Piggy Lai was like being tortured, you know, but he, you know, it's a tough job, man, that guy. So yeah, how would you answer this question here?
Okay, a lot of people
are there any pros for the air cooler? Is there actually any pros? Because
okay,
yeah,
I would say
is there actually a pro for air cool? That's the thing.
Okay, so I would dare say a lot of people, they only see the air cool on Insta, on YouTube, Magnus Walker, who else? A lot. Yeah. I'm serious. I mean, to be honest, I'm a huge
I'm interested in this because I am considering 4 5 down the road. I want a 986 or 930 G series Targa, you know, something like that.
Correct. So the thing is that when you sit in the car and drive the car, it's a very raw experience. So a lot of people might not like it, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool and everything because it's like the in thing nowadays, or you see a RWB, you see a Singer, you see a Tion design. If you just, oh my God, go crazy.
Sorry, I don't like RWB. Yeah. I think RWB, I look at it, it's like, okay, this is my personal opinion. Sorry, guys.
Correct. To each their own. So the thing is that I will implore you guys to go and drive the air cool and see whether you like it or not. Because at the end of the day, especially the 993s, the first, the original, the Tektronix, all those are, I tell you, it might not be to your liking. You will say, hey, what the hell is this gearbox? Yeah, because once you've driven modern cars, modern engines, especially turbocharged, you go to those cars, you might feel there's a huge gap. But in terms of driving feel, the steering feel, it's just insane. It feels like a mini. You drive at about 60 km/h. Oh shit! You feel like you're going 130. Yeah.
I think I might like it then. But in terms of the mechanical engineering aspect of it, does air cooled engine offer any advantage over the water cooled in terms of like performance per se?
No. So that's why when Porsche decided to go from air cooled to water cooled is because they know they already squeeze and milk the performance out of the air cooled the maximum already. They can't go any further because there's a certain limitation because they can't cool the engine fast enough. That's why they need to go for water cooled. That's the reason why they went for water cooled because you already squeeze as much power as possible from the engine.
Would you say weight saving is a pro for air cooled, or would you say it's negligible?
Negligible, because it's additional how many kg for air cool. For water cool, you got radiator.
But you get in return much more horsepower because of the air cooling. And water cooling. Right. And you see the 996, right? This was birth for the Marque engine, right? The 996.
Yeah. So technically, a lot of people say, okay, it depends on how you define it. Because technically, Masger actually designed this engine all based on the Masger intermediate IMS bearing. Of course, we'll talk about later. Yeah. All these are all based on Masger, the engineer, the famous engineer. So but people consider the Masger engine as the GT's engine and the turbos engine. Those are the real Masger. That's how they define it. But again, to each their own. So to be honest, those engines, like I said earlier, they already been maximized, already been maxed out the horsepower, everything. And so and they had to. It was a logical move, to be honest. If you're a Porsche engine at the time, it's like the horsepower is not enough. We need more. Then of course,
Yeah.
yeah. So of course you need to go for water cooled lah.
Yeah. So what you're trying to say is that there is no mechanical advantage to air cool rather than just a raw feeling. And I heard the top band is the top band is all the end the air cool one.
Yeah, correct. And actually, if you've driven all the old Porsches, even up to the 997s without a sport chrono function or sport button, it's all at the back end one, all the back end. Yeah, I mean, you talk about 4,000 RPM all the way to red line. That's right. Okay, all right. We should go for next question.
Right,
See who
thanks
else.
for the answer because I always had the impression that maybe it's lighter, but but yes. Water cool does have advantage. It cools way faster than air, without a doubt. That you are just and more cooling means more power, right? Combustion is better, right? Yeah,
Correct, that's right.
Yeah. Let's see another question over here. Long question. Okay, Adrian, nice meeting you. Let's say entry level Porsche, assuming know nothing about models in context, what we recommend 250,000. 4-door or 2-door. Maintenance cost we talk about maintenance later on. Okay, maintenance later on. But say 250K for a Porsche, what would you recommend?
Okay, 2-door, 4-door, big difference. So you talk about 2 doors. Of course, you have the 911s, you have the 911s, 997. Then you for 200 plus or 250, you can get the 981s as well, the Cayman, the Boxsters as well. Yeah. Then after that, for 4 doors will be the Cayenne. Again, the older gen, Macan, correct, 200 plus thousand. So huge range. So I can't. It was very big question. So
250 is a lot of options over there.
Yep, that's right.
Whichever you're getting, if you're in Malaysia, get the Evo Club extended warranty as well. It helps you. But also other thing you can do also, like you can send over to NSS and then you guys do pre-purchase inspection as well, right? Yeah.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah. Just whichever you choose, make sure you get the car checked properly. More important than maintenance costs. Yeah, because if you get a bad car, a Frankenstein car, forget about maintenance costs. You got repair costs before you can get it moving.
Correct. So I employ the same philosophy and motto as watch collecting because I collect a lot of old vintage watches. Yeah. So the same thing as well in the watch world. So you talk about the 3 C's So I created the 3 C's for the car as well. Condition. So all about condition. I don't care how old the car. It can be a 930, it can be a 964, could be a 997. It's all about condition.
It could be as new as a 99 1.2. Same thing.
The 0.2 is really a couple years already. It's like 4 years, 5 years already. So
some people might trash their car,
Correct.
Yeah,
So for example, I give you an example. There's this very special engine mounting called the PADM, which I think Thomas is also very familiar with.
I call it the Porsche ATM drawing machine. That's what Alex who's owned a 997 GT3, and Ferrari California,
correct. So imagine if you don't check that it's leaking already, and you buy the car. I think it's a 5-figure bill easily like that. Just like that 5-figure. 5-figure.
No, without question.
Without question, that's right. Yeah, percent experience. Okay, all right. The next question, bro.
Yeah. So many questions, so many choices over there. Okay, there's a comment over here. Ruben Yong from Macau says that GT4 Spider since both fine remark, not for track though. I would say Spider is not a track car. For sure, because the 981 Spider is a Boxster's suspension, but tuned by GT, wider and lower. Definitely feels different than normal Boxster because it's wider, so the front end bites better than the normal Boxster. I feel the front end more confident. The GT4 has the GT3 suspension, but the engine is from the Carrera S. But from what I heard from GT4 owners, they are pretty confident on track with the car, But I want to put this out. I heard from a lot of people who buy supercars and stuff. They say on track, the people who buy GT3 RS, they can go on the track sepang 2, 3, 4 rounds, 10 rounds, they come back no problem. Like those are the cars that you buy off the rack, you just go on track, no problem. Right?
Correct.
Yeah, that is something quite remarkable because not a lot of cars you buy off the dealership and you can go on track and just run a few circles on it and then you're okay with it. The GT3 RS has that quality. Despite
That's
forget its horsepowers, everything, that quality of being able to push and push and push and push, and then you can, it's very frustrating on Sepang. You have to come back after 3 laps. You have to come back 3 laps. You have to come back. Very, very frustrating one. I had my BMW and it just my brakes will overheat like crazy and yeah.
That's right.
Okay,
that's right.
we'll just answer 2 more questions, then we continue on to the show. Max Low, 997.2 versus 997. Okay, wait. 997.2, 987.2, 981. Which one will you choose? And it's interesting because Adrian has a 997.2, his 987.1, and then he's driven some 981s as well.
Yes, I have.
So what would you choose?
Oh, I choose. Wow, this one is okay. This one I will give. Okay, when you're driven the Cayman Boxster, is again I will ask the Max to go and drive the cars. It handles very differently. Once you've driven the
A world
Caymans,
of difference. Yeah.
a world of difference. So once you've driven, like for example, at one point in time, I think Thomas doesn't know, I driven my Boxster for extended period of time and neglected the Golf or the 97.2. Literally just put it on side. So I was so confident in the Boxster, be it the 97.2 or 91, that actually 91 even handles even better. The fact is that it felt too safe. It felt too like there's no drama. The correct word is there's no drama for the car. Yeah. So
hey, got drama or what? Got drama. What? It's the exhaust drama.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but the 997.2, you get back into it, you feel live again. I don't know the correct word for you. I think I will term it as alive because
actually I agree with you, Adrian. The 997.2 and the 991, suddenly there's a huge difference, Like just going from 997, if you put 2 cars side by side and you drive 997.2,
yes,
and then you drive 911 and you feel like
yes,
991 is boring. No doubt. 991 is way more dailyable by a margin.
Correct.
The build material, everything, the cabin, the quality. But the 997, you feel like, hey, this car just want to drive the car. Like you just want to whack the car.
Correct. Yeah. So it depends on some people, because I know there are some people, my friends personally. Yeah.
But let's look at Mark's next question. He's like, what would you choose? Now he's maybe asking
what I choose. Wow. I mean, end of the day, I have 2. So if I wanted something if I go for B roads, I'll go for mountain driving. Definitely the 97 or the 981 Boxster.
Oh, you would choose that above a 991, 911?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
911.
Wow.
But if I will go for more on highway cruising, more onto long distance driving, definitely the 911. Because of course, this generation of 911s, the 997 had more power. Because the 97, 91, still the power is not as good as the 997s for this generation. Yeah, that's right. Right. Yeah, because for me, my 997 is a highway GT cruiser. Well, you just step power goes. It's like you go. Okay, semi-legal speeds lah.
Then you go on the TV. Right now, we're going to be responsible.
Yeah, correct. That's right. You got the speeds that.
For me, I will pick the 981. Not because I own one, but okay. Maybe for the viewers, I feel 987 has one advantage. You got hydraulic steering. That one you cannot. How also you cannot change it lah. Sorry lah, you cannot. No matter how good the electronic system, is still not hydraulic. It's like the McLaren. When I tested the 720S, they put hydraulic steering on the 720S. Oh my god, it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. Ferraris, the 488s, electronic, SF90 Stradale electronic, and then the 720S hydraulic. Wow, you got all this advanced tech everywhere. Damper, got this the technology to detect the road. But the steering is hydraulic. Wow, refreshing. Old school. And 997 as well. So I think the benefit of 987 and the 997 is the hydraulic steering feel, and the car a bit more raw. 981 is electronic. I personally feel the base spec and the S and the GTS, the electronic was good, but it's still very good. Like no doubt. Like you compare it to a BMW, the steering feel is still way better. It's like different stratosphere.
Correct. I mean, generally, electric power steering is not the best steering.
Comparative to hydraulic.
But Porsches make some of the best electric power steering.
Oh yes. The Spider and the
Mm.
GT4, the steering is a different steering rack. It's from the Turbo S steering rack, and they modify it for the. Oh, that one is really good. Like it feels suddenly you drive a S GTS and then you drive a Spider, you feel completely different. But still, it's not a hydraulic steering. That's my only thing I will say about it. But I think the damping, I would say to answer the question in better, the 981 has better damping than the previous generation. It's more comfortable. It's more confident on rough roads. It has a bit more tame. It's a bit more tame. Yeah.
Correct.
It's a bit more tame.
Going back to the early question by was it Kon, the air cool one. So if you jump back to air cool, the steering is even more raw. The feeling is even more similar, like how a 91 you jump back to 97. So imagine you jump two, 3 generations before that. That's how raw it can be, the feeling, the sensation, the driving sensation, the sound, the feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so many questions flying around, man. Right? Hey, before I get the same question, say, Adrian, haven't do a wrist check. Can we do a wrist check from you? Because my wrist nothing.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Usually my videos, yeah.
So every time
today,
the Porsche lovers video always have a wrist force check, right? Let's see Adrian because he's a watch lover.
Okay, so this I will say a lot of watch enthusiasts, even though they have a lot of nice watches, they will usually have this as well. So this is a Seiko SKX. Let me see. It's a big reflection. Seiko SKX lah. They already discontinued the model already, so it's a very good diver watch lah. Yeah, on the orange color NATO strap. Yeah, my weekend beach attire watch thingy lah.
Some of you may not know, but Adrian's a watch lover as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk. There's so many questions there. Keep the questions coming. I want to try to answer as many questions as possible. But I want to ask a question because, again, Porsches are a car that is very difficult to describe by looking at the specs. And I have been before I actually started driving more cars. I've been in a world where I only look at spec sheets. You know. And by looking at a spec sheet of a 911, for example, you don't really understand 911 through a spec sheet, right? Or just looking at horsepower, so on and so forth. There's something really unique about a 911. It's the way it drives, right? Because the rear engine, flat six, and it means that, am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It means that the engine power goes directly into the tires. Means there's no long crank and then go to differential and then it's just straight into the engine, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. So it creates a certain kind of sensation, right? Yeah, why don't you share the audience what it's like to drive a 911 means with the OG feel lah. Yeah.
OG feel. Okay, so I will break the feeling into 2 separate feelings. Like what Thomas mentioned earlier, the 997 and before has a different feel. The 991 onwards has a different feel. The 991 has a different feel because they actually push the engine further in front. So it's more like a mid-engine. It's still rear engine, but it's more, that's why hence the 991 drives better, more composed. So a lot of people don't know. It's actually nearer. The engine is really pushed nearer. So you don't.
The 997 and high-speed cornering feels a bit scary. You know, feels like hey, I'm going to get in trouble. You know? Correct. Long bands, right? It's like. Even at don't even say 100 though. Even at 90, you're like, hey, something a bit off, you know.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I get from the 997.
Correct. So I will say the closest feel you will get, okay, assuming you haven't driven any rear engine before, like the Elise or the 911. So you're talking about a go-kart. It's very similar to a go-kart feel. I mean, imagine this is just basically a go-kart. You make it bigger, the feel, because same like go-kart, the engine is in the back. So and the power transmitted to the wheels as well. So that's how it feels like. It's a very different feeling. So most people, they are not used to the feeling. It's like something pushing from the back instead of the engine pulling you in front. Yeah. So it's a very, that's right. That's the feel I would say lah. Yeah. And so to answer your question, there is actually less power loss. So you can see a lot of car wow videos where Matt, he drag races all the cars. Yeah, drag races the car. You see the latest 911s, without a beat, it eliminates, it kills, it decimates the opponents with way higher horsepower. Because why? The loss of the power, transfer of power. Because imagine your wheels are back. So when you accelerate, naturally your car will tilt the back. So you're actually putting more power back to the back lah. That
More
is why
traction on the rear tires. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Of course, there's pros and cons, but that's one of the pros lah. That's why 911 all the while had never had crazy horsepower, but it could always utilize the power very efficiently.
So it also means that your rear tire wear out faster lah.
You can, depends on how crazy you go lah. I mean, yeah.
But the mechanics work in such a way that the engine sits on the rear axle. So when you accelerate, it sits on you, and then it's a direct power into the rear wheel.
Correct.
And hence I've learned very quickly when I was driving my friend's 997 that I must go corner slow. But then you must be very patient. Your tire must be almost straight. Only you can full throttle. So when you turn from the throttle, you slowly throttle down, right? You have to be like slow like this. It's like it's like you go and then only the last bit you push. Whereas the mid-engine you can modulate up like that. It's almost like a smooth transition. When the 911 is like slow then whack. It's like and then when you whack, right, the car is like it's quite addictive, the feeling. I think 911 lovers like that kind of feeling. The you get shoved back in your seat.
Correct.
I think, but the downside. How about this? Okay, I play the back hat. Don't you feel that the downside of having the engine on the rear? There's two downsides. One is on highway. Don't you feel that the front not so settled, right?
I will say that that issue actually happens on the 991. I guess I've driven the 991 up to Genting before. Yes, you're right. So there's an issue where actually the power steering, because when you accelerate, especially up an incline, the power goes to the back, like you say. So the steering feels very weak. But they actually resolved it in the 991.2. Only the 991.1 generation had that issue. Of course,
okay.
997 before, of course, it goes a bit light, but because it was really heavy in the first place, it was really weighted, very weighted.
But on highway, I'm talking about highway, like going on highway, you're going straight.
Definitely. That's why sometimes you can even drive your M235i faster on the highway because for the first time drivers of
correct. You feel confident your front tires got
I mean, and
there's nothing wrong with the car. So those people who go to test drive a 911, there's nothing wrong with the car. It's just the way it is. That's just the behavior of the car, right?
Physics.
It's physics lah. So that's a sort of like I won't say a con. This is a characteristic of the car, isn't it?
Correct.
But I can say it's the con because I'm going to play the black hat. The con is that you feel less settled lah. Because let's be honest, having a front engine rear-wheel drive or front engine. On a highway, it feels planted. Like it feels really planted. There's this security. You feel like okay, I'm fine. And the other thing is, I started to notice that 997s when you go into corners the front end sometimes don't like to bite one. Like it just don't like to like a front engine car. And I noticed this, and because it's not my car, I never drive it really hard. I noticed 997s, the front end like not so willing to turn. And then my friend told me, bro, you must brake into the corner. He said, means I must brake later. I said, brake later. I said, because such thing, So again, it's like I guess it's a con. But if you're a good driver, you know how to make space for that. Right? You know to you use the braking to put pressure on the front tires, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So in essence, 991s or 911s, especially 997s. Requires more skill to extract the car's power, correct?
Yeah. So as you go back all the generations, you need more skill.
You cannot drive a 911 like you drive a Ferrari, or you can drive a 11 like you drive a Boxster or a Cayman, or
technically Ferraris are mid-engine cars.
Yeah,
so they're actually superb handling cars already. I mean the physics really. I mean it seems like driving a Boxster is really superb already. So it's very different from a 911 Ferraris. So of course, talk about the 599 GTPs or with the front engine cars, those are different. But I'm talking about those mid-engine, like the 458s, the 408s Ferraris.
That's true.
Yep.
Anyways, I got one question over here. I was looking for this question. Someone asked this question that since we're talking about 911s, right? I can't find the question. Someone asked the question this. 997 versus Boxster. So 911 versus Boxster or Cayman. Why? Or which one would you choose? In
Why?
the twisty
Wow.
road, on a twisty road.
This road, I think I will do a video of this later. Full deep on.
No,
This one. Done with that one.
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. On the twisty roads, definitely the Boxster Cayman. Definitely. The feeling of the Boxster Cayman is so insane. I mean, you drive. Yeah, this you know why? Because I've been driving the 911, the 997 for about 2 years plus before I got the Boxster. Once I got the Boxster, again, the mind is blown because you're so used to wrestling with the 911 over the corners and everything. Because, you just have to sayang the car, make sure that you don't, like you say, don't accelerate too fast. You make sure that you chuck the car around the corner. You make sure that your tail don't go up too much. Yeah, the Boxster, the Cayman is just insane, and you can, like you say, halfway, if you do any mistakes or anything correction, you can just throttle or brake. The car, nothing. The car is just perfect for B roads, I would say.
Yeah.
I
feel for those of you who are considering to buy a Porsche, for example, I feel the Boxster Cayman rewards you when you drive smoothly, and the car can handle a lot of traction. The traction limit of the car is ridiculous. You know, like. It makes you feel like a good driver. That's what I think the best way to describe a Porsche Cayman, a Porsche Boxster is that it makes you feel like it's so easy to drive fast. That's what I feel lah. Yeah.
Agreed.
Whereas the 911 is like, hey, you gotta work this car or it's gonna kill you. you gotta dance with the car. I think the word is like you gotta dance with the car lah. Like you gotta have some bit of. I'm not saying this as a sexist thing, but let's say a man, you want to dance, you must take aggressive steps sometimes, but you must know when to pull back also. You must know when to wrestle, know when to let go. 997 has that, and that's why I always tell people, like, if I ever want to get a 911, it's 997. Because there is you need to dance with the car, and there's this thing that makes you feel more alive. You're not the fast, maybe it's fast, I don't know. But the fun level in that car, keeps you awake. Whereas the Boxster Cayman is so in that sense, because B roads, I say in B roads, you need to sometimes make fast adjustments. Could be a road condition, could be something on the road, could be another car, So having the mid engine gives you the ability to adjust as you need to. It feels more confident, Whereas the 997 is like, ayo, say got something on the road.
So it's very different feel. Like I fully agree, bro. What you say?
And also the yaw, the car doesn't, because all the momentum is behind, so it doesn't roll to the front. So it's a very odd feeling when you lose control. The wheel will start like dancing around like that. It's a very scary feeling.
True story. The weapon is that when I first got the Boxster, because I was still new at driving the mid-engine, because I've never owned a mid-engine car, to be honest, all my entire life until 6 months ago or 8 months ago. So what happened is that I drove up to Genting one night and came down. It was raining. To be honest, I wasn't driving. Okay, I didn't get red eye because I saw my B.O. take me. No, I didn't chase the my B. So I was just driving and I was just driving.
Bro. Let the king win.
So I was driving about 80, 90, which is not particularly fast. Roads were a bit wet, but it wasn't raining. It was light drizzle. I went through a patch. It wasn't really a wet patch. It was on the NKVE. The whole back literally came off. The feeling I tell you is your balls will shrink. Yeah. So it's a very different feeling. So once the big engine lose control, you better pray lah. Snappy. Yeah.
I think at least before we move on to the next question is that I used to when I dropped my M235i and I sold that, I got my C43. Then I got into a Spider. First time I'm owning a mid-engine car, and of course it's your car, you have to push a little bit more. My impression was that it was very snappy. When it's like confident snap. When it snap, it's like, oh, like, and then only I learned in the course, in the driving course that we went together, that mid-engine you need to adjust fast. You need to snap back at it. Normally, the front engine is like when it snap, you have to slowly adjust, right? For mid-engine, you need to chuck it back. So it's a learning curve. I think I urge everyone
Yeah.
who's going to get you always drive front engine. You're going to get a mid engine. Spend the money, please. Go on training courses. It save you your life.
Yep.
You know, and many times I take up the Genting. There's a wet patch. You watch Bobby. We do with me and Bobby. We both drive up to Genting, and then hit a wet patch. My car was sliding again. You know, and those things save my life. You know, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So so many things to talk about, but I think we can conclude that even after trying to be the bad person, I think Porsche is a very good daily car.
You're a bad cop.
I'm a bad cop, man. Sorry, I'm also part
Bad
of
cop.
yeah. Okay, let's talk about one thing before we go on. Maybe we go for a break now.
Sure.
Let's go for a quick break.
Okay.
After the break, we're gonna come back and ask Adrian to share his experience because he, being a Zuffenhausen ambassador, he sold his Boxster. He told me, guys, I'm sending my Boxster. I'm like, why this guy sell his Boxster? So I was like, why is this guy thinking? He's selling his Boxster that he spent so much money, like fixing up the car. He so sayang his Boxster. And then like, why would you do? We'll talk more of that after the break. More of that after the break. But also after the break, we'll talk about some of the things some of you may be you're watching this video, you're thinking about getting a Porsche. What are the things to watch out for? Because especially there's this famous failure people are afraid of. The accessible Porsches are 986, 987, the 996, 997s. What is an IMS failure? Because this is a big thing, and maybe Adrian can. I would like to learn more as well to shed some light on this IMS failure issue. So more of that after the break. Let's go for a quick break. Look at our sponsors, and again, something important: if you're getting a used car, you need to get Evo Club extended warranty. It's the best way for you to feel safe when you get a new car. Let's check it out. All right. Hey, I didn't know that my spider was in there. Yeah, guys, if you're getting a second car and you're worried about like cost, some people they keep their cash aside ready for repairs, but if you're not a person that would like to keep cash aside, hey, check that out as well. Yeah. Evo Club warranty. Just send us a message and figure out like which car you like to get warranty. So you buy a second car, first tip number one, always get pre-inspection. And number two, if you don't have the cash to tank like repairs and stuff, get a warranty. Yeah. Okay, and of course, NSS Service Center more than happy to do the pre-inspection, right? Yeah, pre-purchase PPI, pre-purchase inspection. All right.
PPI.
Cool.
Yes.
All right, let's. So we're gonna talk a little bit about like Adrian's story of him selling his Boxster, why did he do it, and so on and so forth. But let's just see in the comments here. So many questions over here. So many questions over here. Let's answer one or two questions.
Sure.
Okay, Daniel Ng. What are some must-have options as packing a Cayman S Boxster S? Because Porsche is famous for enticing long list of options.
Wow.
Okay, I'll go with mine first.
Yes.
Whatever is it needs to have sports exhaust, especially the 981 versions. You want the exhaust. It makes a world of a difference. And for me, what other than being a sports car has to be emotional, and for me, I'm a very auditory person. So part of the experience of a sports car is the audio experience of the car, and I think the sports exhaust is super important. Yeah, that's a spec I would definitely look at. Yeah. How about you, Adrian? What are the must-have options?
Must-have. Okay. So I agree with you, bro. I mean, for 911s, the sport exhaust is a must-have for me for 911s. For the 97s and before that, doesn't really make a difference the sport exhaust, to be honest. To me, you rather go for aftermarket exhaust or hear the engine sound way better.
Yeah.
yeah. But for the older ones, I mean, for all the models, I would recommend going for a sport steering. A sport steering is a must for me. Sport Plus and Sport Chrono, no. If you have a sport button, it's good enough already. I always found that the Sport Plus was too extreme. It means when I shift the gear, you will slap me to the back too much.
Yeah.
Plus. Yeah, correct. And the gear, the way they drag the gear is too much for me. So it's too much. It's like it drags all the way, then it doesn't downshift. I mean, in auto mode. So I find it's a bit too extreme. On track, yes, Sport Plus is excellent. Sport Chrono, I felt sometimes it's like more like a bragging right lah. You see, your clock, what clock? Yeah, you are. My lapa bigger. Yeah. I mean, sorry to say lah.
Okay, unzip your pants. See who got clock inside.
Okay, but one thing though you get with Sport Chrono, you get launch control. Again, not a biggie for me lah. Launch control. I don't launch my cars. I know some people. You see, I can launch my car. Your car cannot launch, Yeah. So that's my two picks lah.
Yeah.
PASM Sport Absorbers for me is again a bit too much lah. Normal B-road driving you don't need it unless you go for track lah. PASM. Yep. That's
I think Sport Chronos. Okay, I do like the look of the clock. Although I can tell you it's entirely useless. Like I never use the function of the clock other than checking my time. Okay, checking my clock, which your center console or your instrument dial will tell you the time anyways. So I hardly use it, but it's just a nice thing to have on your dashboard. Like it does look nice when you detail your car, you clean your car. It's like it looks nice, but other than that, I never used it. In fact, like for the 981s, I believe if you get a Sport Chrono, they and the 991s, right? They give you with the PADM. That's part of the package. The Porsche ATM drawing machine. The one that engine mounts, the active engine mounts, that comes with the Sport Chrono. So I don't think it's a big must. As much as people say it's a must, I don't think it's a must. And I agree with Adrian. Even with my Spider, I drive a Sport. I never go to Sport Plus. Like it's after when I first got the car, I drive Sport Plus. After a while, it's like it's a bit too angry. Like for me, it becomes too angry sometimes. The engine's like, it's like I'm like okay, too angry. Yeah,
that's right.
But for me, Porsche exhaust, Adrian don't think is that important. But
for the 91s above, 991 above, yes.
Yes,
for the 997 below, no need.
Not too important.
Actually, not important. Okay, one more last option that I must have lah. I have a fetish on is the fetish the center console body match color. But again, there's a small matter lah. I like it's red car with the red center console. I like that, but of course that you can do it aftermarket. But yeah, if you have that there, make me turn on ready. yeah,
that's a good one. But interesting, you say PASM not that important, huh? Yeah, not for you.
Not for me.
Okay. PASM is Porsche Active Suspension Management. Yeah. Okay. All right. So many questions. Okay, let's jump into this question. So you sold last year. You got this beautiful white 987. We went for a few trips together. Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
And you sold it. What happened? When we tell the audience what happened.
Yeah, so because what happened is along the way, another car came along. Again, it was a drop the top. Yeah, because and I to be honest, I was never a drop the top fan because like you say a lot of people say, oh yeah, hot lah, cannot go lah, everything.
Someone knife your roof lah,
my knife roof lah, everything. But the story is that actually I borrowed one of my friend's 991 Cabrio to go up the Genting. And he said, usually I don't drive friend's car or client's car because it's a big no-no. But he told me, you take it because he has some issues. So I drove the car up Genting. I put the roof down. It wasn't with you guys. It was, I can't remember myself or with another bunch of friends. So I can say the experience was that I was baptized by the wind.
997, right? Cabriolet.
It was a 991.1 Cabrio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was baptized by the winds of Genting. Yeah. So after that... yeah, the baptism of cabriolets. Yeah, so wow.
Yes.
Like something clicked in the mind already. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit, this is opened a whole new world of experience for motoring, especially with the driving enthusiasts. So on my mind, I always wanted to have a 911 Cabrio. I mean, like, okay, yeah. So I was looking. So along the way, something came up. Yeah. So I thought, okay, shit. Okay, fine. It was just like say, oh, okay, I'm going to let go and everything. So, okay, fine, I will sell off the Boxster, which I did. I sold off the Boxster in a week at that. Yeah, to get that. But after that, the car it was a no-go lah. So oh well, it is what it is lah. Yeah, so no go. It was no go, correct. So oh well. So after that, I was looking around for a drop top again. So actually, I veered a bit off from Zuffenhausen. I went to Japan, Nippon. So I was looking, what can I get a drop the top from Nippon? Because again, I was never a car snob. Yes, I must say I'm the Porsche lover of everything, but if it's a fun car, I would love to drive one. So after I rang up Bing, I said, hey Bing, can I test your Miata? So I learned about the Miata and A, B, C, D from her. Yeah, so yeah, correct. So I drove for NC.
Went to Japanese school.
Yes, Nihonjin, yes. Went to school and everything. Yeah,
How dare you, Zuffenhausen guy?
Okay, yeah. So I drove the car. Okay, to be fair, a lot of people, I think not only the comments below, some people on Facebook also asked me, a Miata or a Boxster or Cayman. So I will say that the Miata was actually a very fun drive for a first car. But again, because I've been spoiled by Porsches. so yeah, so I've been spoiled. So the Miata, I would say it can be improved if you put in money to mod the car. But for me, I don't like really modding the car too much. Yeah, for me, I like it as it is from the factory.
Vanilla.
Sorry, come again.
Vanilla. That means like
vanilla, of course. Yeah. So for me to mod the car to level, I didn't want to go into that. So when you buy a Boxster or Cayman, it's really this is the best it can be. Like you are track ready. Let's say track ready. You bring a Miata to track without modding things. Yeah, it's going to be a very heavy experience and expensive experience. Yeah. Even like you say a base Boxster or base Cayman, you go and track, no issue. Of course, maybe you change your brake fluid to a higher temp brake fluid. But otherwise, all the materials or the tires and brake fluid. Otherwise, it should last the track. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah. Then lastly, along fate will have it, my other client wanted to sell his Boxster again, the same exact one. It was a 97.1 gas, 3.2 liter, exact same thing. Wow, I mean, God was telling me, hey, you better buy, you don't go from Zuffenhausen.
Correct. You Zuffenhausen. How can you leave Zuffenhausen? Hey, by the way, there's a 10 commandment of Porsche, okay? I'll show later. You shall not entertain the thoughts of GTR, Hurricanes, or McLarens. Okay, guys, there's a real thing. You can search on Google right now. There's a 10 commandments of Porsche owners. Right? Part of it is you shall not entertain thoughts of any other cars.
Wow, this is wow.
I mean, you know, I don't want to say it's the same thing as what Adrian said. I drove Miata and I say it's such an impressive car. I think Miata is Mazdas are for me it's sort of like the Porsches of Japan. You know, in a way that. Okay, they're very different in a sense. I get it, but the philosophy is that they spend a lot of time tuning their car. And I suspect why Porsche does better than a lot of their competitors and damping and daily, because they don't spend all their budget only on engine management or development. I think they spend a lot of, I suspect, I don't know it's a fact. I get the sense every time I drive a Porsche is that they spend a lot of time tuning the car. Means how the suspension works, how the damper works, how does the engine and the gearbox work, how does it all come together? Like the putting things together is more important than the actual ingredients. And the actual ingredients are very good also. Like the flat 6 is ridiculous. Even the flat 4, as much as I hate the way it sounds, even the way they pair the gearbox, everything, you put it in sport mode and then you just drive. It's so intuitive. It's ridiculous. You know? So there's something I cannot, like that Porsche does so well is the tuning. And Mazda does it very well. So Mazda, the Jinbai Itai, right? The you and the car become one, right? The Mazda
and the rider.
You and the rider, right? And I think Mazda is one of the most underrated sports cars around. It's ridiculously fun to drive. But you're right,
Yes.
the only one thing is that a little bit low on the power. And
Okay.
I mean, if you for those of you who are driven 200 horsepower, 250, 270, and then you go to a Mazda, it's just a bit lackluster.
Okay.
And I don't want to supercharge it. I don't want to turbocharge it. You know, because it's already, you know, it screws up with the whole. The engineer is designing something for you. You just screw it up. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. So just want to add on one point, bro, on the Miata or the NX5. The thing is that car, to be honest, between the if you go for B roads, usually like, you will not go more than 120 depending on the roads.
Yeah,
if you stay below 120, I tell you the car is perfect. I tell you for B roads.
Fantastic.
Fantastic for B roads. Cannot go
I
wrong.
remember taking MX-5 into Kuala Kluang. Wow, it's such a... But you have to be patient in the car. You roll and then you sit and then you go and then roll and then you sit, you know.
Correct.
But it's easy to get. It's easy to drive the car. It's easy. It's intuitive. You know. It likes to. And I think it's a fantastic car. Such an underrated car. You know.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
Maybe the springs can be a little bit stiffer but I think I won't touch it. I think I just let it be.
Correct.
And I always think like if I ever want to migrate to Melbourne, or let's say I have extra money to put an extra car in Melbourne, you know.
Wow.
The best car there is an MX-5 because you can't speed over there. The speed limit is ridiculously low, and you got beautiful roads, Great Ocean Road.
Oh, Great Ocean Road! Wow. I would love to drive again. I drove there once. I would love to go there again and drive.
Yeah, MX-5 is perfect on those roads. Perfect. Yeah. Damping is beautiful. You know, you won't speed. You just cruise with the roof down. You know.
Yeah, that's right. Right.
I drove the Mazda Miatas well, ish, because it's an Abaf lah. It's an Abaf Spider because it's a Mazda Miatas body. I drove it on the Great Ocean Road. Beautiful.
Nice.
So you went back all the way, go one round, and go come back to Porsche.
Yes, I did. The car gods couldn't let me go off.
Awesome, man. I actually, beautiful. That I think you just fixed a new ducktail to it, right, recently?
Yes, I did. 3D printed. Very cool. Yeah, I love the ducktail. That's right.
Beautiful. Okay, so many questions over here. Let's go into the next one over here. Hope you guys enjoyed that story from Adrian. If you do, just let us know in the comments or give us some love, some likes. Right, don't forget to follow Adrian on his YouTube channel. Search for the Porsche Lover, and please stay to the end of the show because we're gonna do Dude, Where's My Car? I got a surprise for you, Adrian. You're gonna have so much fun for the selection.
Wow. Okay.
So many questions over here, up and down. But let's go with this one. Zaxi, what's the maintenance like for mid-rear engine Porsches? Does it always require an engine out job when there's an issue?
Good question. Yeah. Okay. Usually, I know a lot of people watch YouTube. Like they will say, "Oh, it costs more to bring the engine down." Correct. It costs more because of the labor hours. But usually, you don't need to bring the engine down because most of the repairs it can be done with the engine in the car itself. Yeah, so unless it's a serious issue, like maybe there's an oil leak somewhere in between where the can cannot go in, or we cannot replace the item, then you need to bring the whole engine down. But usually that's quite a quick process because Porsche has designed the engines to be brought down easily. Yeah, it's not a big issue. It's faster to bring a Porsche engine down than the normal front engine cars sometimes.
Oh,
because
really?
Porsche but of course with the know-how, because and then imagine the front engine, they didn't design the engine to be taken out. For Porsche, yes, because it's designed to bring out fast one, because and anything goes wrong, bring out the whole engine already and repair the engine already.
But it's not always required when there's an issue.
No, not at all. No, it's very rarely.
It's depending on the situation. Okay.
Correct.
So I hope you answered that question for Zach All right. All right, Zach, let us know if you answer your question. Okay. Chi Aun Room. Bobby says response 997 is lazy. Do you agree? I think you got a story for this one. Yeah. That's not, and the comment about 4,000 revs below is very lazy. And
Correct. Yeah, I think I told the story in Bing's video as well. I'll tell the story again, share the story again. So when I first got the 997.2 for the first 6 months, I couldn't drive the car. I mean, on paper it's at 380 bhp brake horsepower. I said, but the car feels more slower than my C-Class C200 compressor. I said, why? Where's the 380? So we were searching, change the spark plugs, the gearbox, or everything. But where's the power? Where's the power? It's like, my God, it's like, I mean, it's like first above 200, because all the other cars were below 200 horsepower. So it's my first 300 plus horsepower car. So I was like thinking, oh, it should be fast, but it doesn't go fast. And again, because my 97.2 doesn't have the spot button. So there is no way, some people don't drive fast. Okay, I press the button, it will immediately become more aggressive. For non-spot button, so I drove the car. Oh shit, I couldn't drive the car fast. Like, what's wrong? Yeah, I've been going up the Genting. By this time, I've been going up the Genting a couple of times already. So one fine night, I can't remember. I don't think it was a Myvi. I think it was something else. Something Tiong me. Tiong was chasing me from the back. So I was like, oh, angry. So I was a bit like, oh, flustered and angry. Like, okay, let's see how. So I stepped a bit harder. Yeah, so the power band came off at about 4,000 above. So once you reach 4,000 above, you keep between 4 to 6. The engine will sing to you. It's like, yeah, it will sing soprano. Then you're like, you're like,
It's not an inherent flaw, you know. Right? People sometimes say it's a flaw, and I've been in the spider forums. They say, oh, why got no sound, no power below 4,000? Actually, it's not. I think it's not because again, Porsche designs the car in mind that it's a daily car, right? Right. So when you want to drive it to your grocery, you don't want it to you don't want it to scream all the way to the grocery shop, right? So it's meant to be, the torque is manageable. It's not jerky when you want it to be tame. But then when you want it to be angry, then you rev it up, like you drop a few gears and rev it up, then you get all the power up there. Right. So it's not an inherent issue with the car per se. Some people say, oh, how can we modify the ECU so the valves open and the noise starts at 3,000 or 2,000? I say, I wouldn't want that. I don't like that, Yeah.
So again, why? Okay, I'll tell you the pros and cons. A lot of people have been driving, because like same thing as well. I can't remember who was it, one of the drives, Evo drive as well. This guy, he's been driving all the other cars. So he's been driving a Porsche because it's a dream car as well. He tested the 911. I think it was the 997 as well. He told me, bro, the car is lousy. La. I said, why lousy, bro? Everyone's raving about the car. He said, the car has no power. I say, yeah, same thing I told you, 4,000 above. So again, why any cars are always better in turbo cars sometimes is because it's very linear. The graph is very linear. So when you, for example, you are mid cornering. So when you step on the accelerator, it doesn't jump up suddenly and the car lose control. So a lot of people don't know that. If you've gone to a training course, if you drive the car at the limits, you will know that a sudden jump will cause your tire to lose traction. You snap, correct. You will understeer or oversteer depending on the situation. That's right. So it's very different. And at the same time, the cars they make it at the end of the power band. It means when you drive up to, let's say, 120 km power, 110 km power, you still can press and the car will still go because they actually tune the power band to the higher end. That's right. So it's very different.
And then because when you're in a mid corner, you're probably not at the high end. So without that jerkiness, so it's not inherent flaw. Because I think sometimes people, they get so used to turbocharging the kick, right? And this is the latter. And the funny thing, even the 718, they actually find a way to blunt the sharpness of the torque.
Correct. If you've driven the sorry.
No, I'm just saying that it's actually, it's not a flaw. It's just, if you think about it and you're really a keen driver, you take on track, you don't want too much snappiness. You want it to be smooth and yes. And also so but anyway, come back to Chin Aon Lim. Yes, it's lazy before 4,000. I can say the same for night ones, even for the Spider. But Spider is very light, so it's easy to move even though it's at below 4,000. But yes, the engine sounds a bit muted. But after 4,000, the engine changed character.
Wow.
And that's why if you, it's why you see a lot of Porsche drivers like to rev their cars because the power is there. But it makes sense that you got the daily, you keep it low. You want to whack, you can whack on the other side.
That's right. That's right.
So many questions over here. Last question before we go on to DFI engines and IMS failures, right? And what to look out for. TT is asking, so what were the main concerns to vary when purchasing a 3-year-old Boxster 2018? So looking at 718. So this one he asked a few times. This one say old UK import, 3-year-old UK import.
I would say if for any cars that are 3 years and below, usually that there's not much issue with the cars, definitely. So definitely that you can buy the car. I mean, of course, you still do the PPI, the 3Cs and everything, but definitely for a 3-year-old car, normally will not have much issues with the car. normally lah. I would say 99% of the time lah, unless you're the 1% unlucky one lah. Yeah, so that's why, and then you're doing the PPI, you will already know the condition of the car, the 3Cs.
I think same thing as what I tell to I echo Adrian, always do a pre-purchase inspection. But the problem is the car is in UK, you're going to do import. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's one problem because the car is not here. And then if you pay the money and the car ship over, you can't change your mind because the car is already here. So
Correct.
either you get someone you really trust to do the PPI and import the car from UK, or I think buying a second car is always about condition. So it's a tricky question. I've never done a car import from UK, but if I did, I think the only question is like, who can I trust to check the car there for me? All right. And then only I put the money down, and start the import process. I think the 718 Boxsters, the engines from what I understand is not problematic, right? The 2-liter turbocharger and 2.5.
Because the cars are still pretty new, so there's no much. I mean, the cars are still under warranty and everything. There's no much issue yet. Because usually after the 5 years mark, our warranty, that is where all the issues start to pop up already. Yeah, usually
that's when if you want to avoid any future issue, just get yourself a warranty if you're worried about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So hope I answered your question, TT. Yeah. Always, I think the same thing lah. It applies. It's like condition. Always check the condition of the car. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Now, question is this. There's before we end, we're gonna play Dude, Where's My Car? I can't wait to play that game with Adrian. Okay, Adrian. Last one is I'm interested in this because I was thinking like if I ever buy a 911, I just jokingly talked to Josiah. Josiah's a good friend, and I was telling him like if I want to get a daily, right? Maybe I get a 996 or 997 because I do like 997s. They're still they still have that rawness. Then we talk about the IMS failure. What is the IMS failure and which models actually have it? Because I keep getting confused. Like, is it the Macan engine or DFI engine? Which model specifically has the IMS issue? And is it salvageable or is it like oh my god, it's the disease, cancer, run away, or like zombies, So what's the IMS failure? Let's start with that. What's the IMS failure?
Okay, so I don't want to geek out too much because it's too technical. So so the IMS stands for intermediate shaft bearing. So this how you want to tell is very simple. If the car has a PDK gearbox, there's no IMS really, because once they come out with PDK, they came out with the DFI engine, the direct fuel injection. Yeah. So there's no more. So once you see PDK, there's no more IMS bearing. Okay, so that is how you tell apart. Also, the IMS actually, if you deep dive, there are actually a few types of IMS. So for the last iteration of IMS, usually the failure rate is very, 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 very low. So if you read around the thing, especially that this guy, this motorsport company in US, they rebuild engines, hundreds of engines a year. So the latest engine is called M97. Has almost zero failure rate for IMS, even though it's running on IMS. And as a fun fact, the 997s, 996, the turbos, the GT cars are also running on IMS.
Oh.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that. Actually, the 996, 997s, non-DFI engines are all running on IMS. Have you heard of any IMS failure? And those cars are driven hard. Who doesn't whack? You buy a GT3, you drive 80 km per hour. Come on, bro. Cannot be. No way, hell. Yeah.
Go buy my Hoyer.
Exactly. So that's why. But do you hear a GT3 bearing failure? No, correct. So I mean, or turbo bearing failure. It's essentially using IMS bearing as well. Oh. Yeah, so but again, it's a different type of bearing also because they spec the because the worst were actually the 96 and 996 because at the time it was the cost cutting period of Porsche at the time. Because
Porsche. That's when Porsche was with the Boxster, the 986 Boxster time.
Yeah, then when I say Boxster, the story saved the company and everything. I mean, a lot of people use Google and you know the story. So at the time, they trying to save on the engine itself, like how to cut the cost and everything. So they cut some corners there, and then this led to this. So IMS bearing is a very tricky subject. you can diagnose it earlier sometimes, but sometimes there's no warning. You will just fail immediately. When that is when, of course, people focus on the thing. Like, for example, you say like the AZ vaccine. People take the AZ vaccine, they get blood clot. It's only 0.00004%. But for you to die in a car crash is way, way higher. So you stop driving. So it doesn't make sense. So same like the IMS bearing also, it's actually very low failure rate. Across the board. But of course, is higher failure rate. Okay, what they have determined is that the failure rate is the highest when the car is not driven regularly and the oil change is not done properly or on time. Case in point, I actually had a friend call me last week, IMS bearing failure. Then I asked him, they just bought the car. It's a 996 Carrera S C2S. So the guy didn't do service because the mileage didn't reach the mileage yet. So that is the main failure. Because why they diagnose with it? Because when you don't service the car, all the residue, all the sediments will eat at the IMS bearing. This is seal, it's rubber, so it will eat at it, and that will destroy the bearing. Once it leaks, it will. Yeah, so moisture as well and everything. So if you service the car regularly, you flush the engine regularly with quality oil and quality additives, it will prolong. To be honest, I have a personal friend. I drive with him a lot. He drives a 97.1 base Cayman. Oh, I tell you, the guy has driven so much mileage on the car itself. IMS bearing. I asked him, hey, IMS bearing how? Okay, ada. So you can see most of the failures are actually on the lower mileage cars. So which I always say before, lower mileage cars might not be the better cars. I think I say it for many times. If the car has a high mileage and is driven properly and maintained properly, it will have an extremely low rate of failure. Extremely low rate of failure.
So if you want to buy a Porsche, make sure you buy it from somebody who driven it and really sayang the Porsche.
Yes, wreck the car. Not wreck the car, as in Italian tune-up. Italian tune-up.
That's interesting. Yeah, because you don't drive, then the sediments eat at the bearing. So the question is this then. The question came out over here already. Yes. How is it detectable or not? The PPI, pre-provision inspection. Is it possible to detect symptoms of IMS failure?
Yes and no. Okay, usually the IMS failure, one very common symptom is that because the IMS bearing is sandwiched between the gearbox and the engine. So if you see a leak at the rear of the engine, in between the gearbox and engine, that is the IMS bearing. But if there's no leak, doesn't mean it's not okay. Doesn't mean it's okay. Sorry.
You never know, huh?
You never know. The leak, if it's leaking, then okay, it's a telltale sign.
If the IMS bearing gone already, means what's the next thing? Let's say if I buy a car and then my IMS gone, then what's the next step?
Okay, depends on how bad the damage is. Because once the IMS bearing fails, it depends on the stage. So sometimes it can be catastrophic, sometimes can be not so catastrophic, depending on the scale. So the most catastrophic is that the engine, because the IMS bearing controls the timing in the engine. So when the timing is gone, your piston is going up, the valve is coming down, smash into the valve.
Oh,
that is the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario.
Yeah, then what you're talking, either a full overhaul or just change the engine.
Correct. That's right.
Man. Yeah. Okay. So the tip that you will give is that don't judge the car based by its low mileage, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Whether it's frequently taken care of, even if it's low mileage, does it service often? Right. That's the important thing.
Yeah. I would say that the 996 will be more susceptible to IMS bearing failure. 996, 96.
Because of the early cost saving part. Then
correct. Okay. And also, again, your mileage may vary. Let's say if the guy religiously services his car often, he does his car, he drives the car, then your car will be in okay shape. Yeah, if you service the car every 1.5 years, then basically it's a time blown. I won't say it's 100% thingy, but definitely there's a risk at the back of your mind. Definitely.
Well, thanks for sharing. That's very important. I hope you guys got value from that sharing. Let us know in the comments. Derek say thanks very much. If you got value from that sharing. So number one, PDK means no more IMS because all DFI engine already, right? The direct fuel injection engine. And then if it's non-PDK means is DFI is Mansker, and also the IMS is still there, potential issue there. But then there are many other 996 more susceptible, 997 less. Also depending on the previous ownership. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right. So I think we can talk about Porsches all day lah. I think talk about all things good about Porsche all day lah.
Oh yes,
there's so many questions to ask you, but guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I think ask one last question.
Sure.
From one of the viewers that asked, that's been watching for a while. Kenneson, he's asking a question of PDK. Is it as good as the manual in terms of driving fun? Would bucket seats be comfortable for long distance driving, like Evo, endurance, and stuff like that? Okay. So, Adrian, you've driven both PDK and manual. But you live with PDK, I live with manual. Let's give our input about this.
Yeah, bro. You go ahead first. You go ahead.
PDK is probably the best dailyable sports car gearbox, hands down. In the Macan, in the Cayenne, like ridiculous. It's ridiculously good, right? Not jerky and no speed, and then high speed you shift is like, it's like that. My only problem about the PDK is sometimes it's too good. It's like you're driving, it's like it's like it's okay, like the Avantado, you shift gear. I my best for what I heard. E46 M3, the SMG gearbox. It's a bit more dramatic. So I think beginning and first time it's fun, but I think after a while it gets a bit boring for me. So I think that if you drive into traffic a lot, maybe get the PDK. It's still fun to drive on B roads, but I think personally, I feel on a personal level, just going on the B roads, you can heel and toe, you can shift gears. It's just an added layer of engagement. Just for me. What say you, Adrian, in terms of manual versus PDK?
Okay, this one is similar. So everybody wants the PCCP, everybody wants a sport chrono. But at the end of the day, even the manual, because most people want manual because they watch reviews. So Chris Harris, the manual is the best. Oh, you see, I'm serious. Like, manual is the best.
Manual.
Correct. Chris, what's his name? Kamisa. He said, manual is the best. Yeah, so everybody say manual is the best. But the thing is that I tell you, most Malaysians are damn lazy to drive manual. Most Malaysians, I tell you, and especially the new. Okay, I would say I'm a millennial as well. So even the younger generation, so you've been driving auto all the while. When you drive a manual, you'll be like cursing at it, like, why did I buy the stupid manual? Correct. So like what you said,
don't be like that.
No. So I say, and my perception is that is you need to progress through it. That means you drive auto first. You drive to a point where I don't feel the excitement or joy anymore driving. I mean, I do, but the things that I want more, like myself, the reason why I did the PDK was that, I think I already driven to the full potential of PDK already, and the Tiptronic. Now I want something more engaging, something more raw. Hence, I go for the manual. But like you say, on the normal drive, on the normal commute to the Pasar Malam, buy choy, buy veggie, everything, PDK wins hands down, 100%.
Actually, I'll share this with you. I daily, I sometimes drive a lot of my Spider.
Yeah.
The way the Porsche's manual work, the clutch is very heavy. Like, I give you an example. My BMW, I can climb. Let's say I'm trying to clean I'm trying to clean my footwell. I can use my hand to press the clutch. That's how light a BMW's clutch is. I can press. It's still weighted, but I can press with my hand. My Porsche's clutch, I cannot press with my hand. Okay, I work out. I'm not a weak guy. Okay, I work out. I'm not super strong, but I cannot push the clutch down. That's how heavy the clutch is. Okay, so in that sense, fun or not? Now the question is asking, fun or not? I do like Porsche's heaviness when I'm on the B road. when you kick, you have to kick the car. It's like you have a lot of energy. You have to kick the car, then make the car work. It's fun, yes. But when you're stuck in a traffic, or you're trying to drive into Bangsa village, or you're trying to get out of Bangsa village and drive to Bangsa, after 20 minutes, you will start to feel your calves. You start to feel the calves a bit. I'm not going to kid you. Is it comfortable? Okay for daily. It's dailyable depending on you. Can you tahan or not? For me, if I have to go into KLCC, traffic jam, forget about it. I'm not going to drive my Spider. Forget about it. I will take my BMWs to the city, even though it's a manual, because the clutch is way lighter, the gearbox is lighter, everything is lighter. It's easier to drive. So in that perspective, I feel I drove the Cayman R as well. Also a bit weighted. Even the gear shift also a bit more weighted. But again, the feeling they want you to feel is that it's more sporty. You have to put some energy to shift the gear. But the fun, no doubt, I think is funner than the PDK. But then it comes down to the question: is it your daily car? How much can you tahan? That's I think. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to add on. I got one friend, the same friend who drives the Cayman, because we wanted to sekali go buy manual cars, all of us. So I'm ashamed to say I'm the only non-manual 3-pedal guy in the group lah. So everybody want to buy 3-pedal. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, it's a guy thing. Yeah, okay. So he wanted to buy 3-pedal. So this friend, he bought a 3-pedal car, non Porsche, still a flat engine. He bought the car. He said, I regret lah. I shit lah. It's manual is not for me. He loves driving. He's very enthusiastic. But after the hype lah, I want the manual car and everything. But after driving the manual, he said no. I want.
It's the individual preference. Individual preference. Really. Don't listen to the car journalists and stuff. It's what you know. Look, PDK can be fun too. For some people, because of the manual, they get so stressed out they cannot enjoy the drive.
You are exactly right. That's what happened to him. Exactly right. That's right. Yeah.
Some people are okay with it. Some people are not okay with it. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Correct. That's right. Yeah. And then one more question. I think this will answer Kenneth's question. Bucket seat. Wow. I mean, if you drive long hours on the car, bucket seat will be very hurting lah. You drive Thailand lah, definitely lah. Confirm already. Yeah. So you go
a lot of mixed things in this. I mean, the Porsche Spider go and talk about this. Some people say they swear by the bucket seat is comfortable lah. I don't know. I sat in GT4 bucket seat lah. After 10-15 minutes I feel like I don't feel as I actually don't like it. I don't like it after a while. But it's only useful when you are pushing the limits of the car and you want to feel the car. Where is it? The bucket seat, the carbon bucket seats, no doubt worth the money, like ridiculously good. But sometimes you need a bit more cushion on your bum sometimes.
Imagine you drive to Thailand now. Wow, it's like what 6 hours, 7 hours drive. My God, the time you reach every night, you'll be asking for a massage. Not happy ending, normal massage. You'll be every night you want massage already. Okay, no sir, no extra service. No, you're asking the normal massage already. Okay, yeah, because your back will be sore already. Your butt will be sore already.
Yeah, I think that to answer Kenneth's on, my preference is that's why when I saw my Spider without the bucket seat, I'm like, yes, I want this because I don't want the bucket seat. I want the sport seat because I want the cushion. Because this car for me is a long distance cruiser as well. Correct. Will I lose the stiffness that of course it does, but how often do I use it? So then again the question. But if I'm buying a GT4 and I'm taking it to track, of course I want the carbon seat. There's not even a question, right? Yeah. So but I say like I don't think it's comfortable enough for long. I don't think it's comfortable enough for a long distance trip. Especially when you're not doing one trip, you're doing a leg, second leg, third leg, fourth leg. Maybe one leg you can tahan, but 2, 3, 4, 5 legs, forget about it. Yeah.
So hands massage.
And autos can be fun also, but in the perspective of like say like Avantado, right? Avantado, when you shift, you shit your pants. My kidney will move forward a bit.
Displace already. Kidney displace already.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, Kenneth. I hope that answers everyone's question about the bucket seats as well. But no doubt, I think Porsche makes one of the best bucket seats. So it's one of the more comfortable bucket seats. I'll be honest with you, it's comfortable enough. But as the daily long distance is really tough to answer that question.
That's right.
Okay. So we've talked about Porsches a lot. I think we come back to conclusion. Yes, Porsche is I'm so hypocrite. I'm trying to be Porsche is a very good. It's a good all-rounder sports car. I think we covered reliability. We covered the fact that even nowadays a 987, 986, they are so accessible. 996, 997, they are so accessible price range right now.
Correct.
Correct. They're cheaper than the air cooled, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, always share people.
Yeah. Last question though, before I move on to do what's my car. Is a Macan, Cayenne, and Panamera a sports car for you?
Okay. If I had kids, I want to bring along my stroller. I want to bring along my mum. Yes, that is the best sports car you can buy for your money. Sports SUV. Yes, correct. Yeah, you say because I know you bring a.
But is it a sports car?
Sports car. Of course, you can never compare to a two-door sports Porsche. Definitely, definitely. I mean, there's no. It's a very unfair comparison. But if your life dictates that you need a four-door to carry people and carry your kids, and you put babies in, definitely a Macan Cayenne. Definitely. I mean, hands down. And the game, like what I think some people ask, all the 958s, all those very affordable nowadays, I mean, compared to the original price of when they first came out, those Cayennes or Macans. Right?
So,
Okay.
but you'll no doubt, like in any of the segments, the best driving sports cars, best driving in those segments, as mini SUVs to large SUVs to sedans, it's still ridiculous. It's ridiculous how they do it. Yeah. So I feel like wizardry.
Correct.
Okay.
Indeed. Okay. All right.
Let's go and play this, guys. We are at the last leg of our show. It's called Dude, Where's My Car? And this is the game where we get I want to make this nice design for me. So in this game, it's very simple. Me and Adrian, I'm gonna always give my guests two selections of cars, and then my guests have to choose which car and why. Why he has to choose that car. Okay, and this version is a Zuffenhausen version of Dude, Where's My Car?
Wow.
All of them will be Porsches.
Wow.
Okay. So guys, feel free to join us on the chat. Let us know in the comment which car would you choose. We pick two cars, and then which one would you choose? Okay, you ready? Adrian, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, let's go. Okay, round one. We're talking about bit of background. This first car has manufactured more than 163,000. There is so many. Okay, it's a big number for sports cars. Okay, they are also one of the most successful sports cars in Porsche history. Some of you, okay, guys, let me know in the comments. What car do you think this is? What car do you think this is from Porsche? I think Adrian knows which car, lah.
Don't know.
944. 944 was one of the most sold sports cars by Porsche. The 944 S2. It's the front engine. Front engine, you guys Porsche. Some of you may not know. They did manufacture cars like this before. The most un-Porsche.
Correct.
So the S4 is the one that comes with S2 comes with a 3-liter 4.9. 4-cylinder 3.9, 210 plus horsepower. Yeah. So would you get this? Okay. Which is roughly around, I think, Malaysian ringgit 80,000, fixed out 100,000. Yeah. Or would you get a Cayman 987.1 automatic, one manual, one automatic? Which one would you pick?
Wow. Okay.
That's the comment. Which one would you pick?
Actually, I've driven both before, so I drew 944 before. The 944, okay, I tell you a secret. The 944 is better handling than 911 of its time. A lot of people don't know. Yeah, I'm serious. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, and they quite blasphemy. Same thing when I tell you the Cayman 97 handles better than 997. Blasphemy, kill the joker. Burn in a stake. Yes. So the 944 was actually the predecessor for the Boxster because they wanted to make a more affordable, accessible Porsche to the masses. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I drove 944 before. I can tell you, it's a blast to drive. It's super nice to drive the car, 944. Yeah. I'll go for 944. Yeah, I mean, well, who doesn't like the pop-up headlight? I mean, I'm a sucker for it. Like suddenly, yeah. I mean, it's like a flasher that you like a flash lights. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. In this case, I will pick the 944. Definitely 944. 944 is a very nice car to drive. Yeah,
944. Okay. Let's see the
Yeah,
comment
that's
here.
right.
Let's see.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Jared says you 987.1 for Viv. One says oh you're also ended by 944 LDT cable.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I hope everyone's okay after that. Even re-ended. Sean says 944. Derek says Cayman. Jensen 944 because of the pop-up headlamps. Because he's a Miata driver, of course he likes it. Yeah. Cayman 944, 97. Jonathan is 944. 944. This one I say in this case is a manual in this comparison. Cayman 9. Expert advice here. 944.
Wow.
Yeah. I never drew a 944, but I've heard a lot of people say that it's a lot of people who are pro drivers, they actually like 944s. They say it's a very easy to manage car, and also the limits are quite out there also. Yeah.
Correct.
The funny thing is people, the Western media always talk about mid-engine car, very good for handling, everything. But here's the funny thing though. Front-engine rear-wheel drive car is more forgivable than mid-engine car. Mid-engine cars, you must drive. If you want to drive really hard, you have to drive with your full attention. So it's not so relaxing. The front rear has more because of the yaw. The car yaws a bit longer. The inertia takes time to travel from back to the front.
Correct.
The front. It feels slower when it snaps, so you got time to adjust.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, but anyways, if you have a chance...
Josiah thought you will buy the... Josiah think you will pick the Cayman.
Oh, nice.
Well, the whole idea of this game is whether you like or don't like this. You have to pick one. Okay, so in this case, I picked the 944 because I think it's a new experience.
Wow. You should try one.
And the mirror behind, right, as a detail geek, right? The mirror behind that curves out, right? It's so unique, that beautiful. Yeah.
Correct. That's right. Fully agree.
All right. So Cayman here. Josiah picks the Cayman. All right. So with that, for this round one, me and Adrian agrees. Okay, we both pick the 944. All right, let's go on.
All right.
Round two. Okay, let's go round two. Now, round two, we enter the realms of the GT. GT realms already.
Wow.
Okay.
The god level.
What GT could this be, guys? What GT could this be? Right?
5,000 lah. I wonder what 5,000.
5,000. It's a 4.0. Oh, it's a. And I know you like this color. I know you like this color.
Maizen blue.
Yeah. Yes, it's a 991.2 GT3 4.0. So would you pick this? In this spec, it's manual. Okay, would you pick this? Or PDK, you decide. I don't quite like the color. I think it's too striking, but I picked this color because I know you like it.
Yes, I do.
Or would you pick another GT car? Wait, first of all, do you like this car? Do you think this is an epic car? This 991.
I tell you, the only thing missing for me is the Blackstone guard. I was like, I already come ready. That's the only thing missing in the car that I will put Blackstone guards in the car.
Okay, but for the GT3, the 3.8, and then to the GT3 4.0, this 991, the engine sounds so much more angrier. It's ridiculously, it revs so much higher.
It's actually a different engine. It's
different engine, right?
Yeah, different engine. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So angry. This one is so angry. This one I listen to. Okay. Any one of you already won this, really not? Okay.
Wow, I see.
So what do you think? What do you think would rival this? Wait. Adrian disconnected. I think he's he's so excited until he disconnected. But guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think could be? Alamak. Hope you guys he disconnected. Oh no. No, he disconnected. Okay, what do you think could rival the 911 GT3 4.0?
Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. I had
thought
a technical glitch. Too excited already. I I came back already. Yep. There we go. Okay, I'm all good.
Yeah.
I threw my tissue already.
Okay, would you want this or this one? The 997 GT2 RS. The
Wow. Okay. I have
they're
to
both
confess.
okay, Bespoke is selling one at 1.2 at the 1.2 something at the GT2 RS 3.8, the 997. And I found that there's also a GT3 4.0 letting go around 1.2 as well. So they're both at around the same price. Right?
I see. I have to confess, I haven't driven the GT2 RS before. I have to confess. The 991 GT3, yes, I driven before. So I did not say. But based on, I always find that GT2 RS was a bit too much for me. It was a bit too it's like over the top because it's turbocharged and everything. For me, I like to rev the car. It's supposed to be NA. Yeah, so, and of course, the color also. The color also. Yeah, I mean, like, wow, the Meissen blue with the black rims, wow, that one, yeah, really gets to me. Really gets to me. I would the 991 GT3.
I saw this color. I'm looking for this color.
Correct. Definitely. Yeah, the GT2 RS, I don't know. Again, I haven't driven before because it's so rare, the 997. Yeah, but I always found that it was a bit too much over the top, really. Yeah, the GT3 is still an A, still of course rear-wheel drive, still very pure drag experience. I felt. Yeah. That's right.
You pick the
That's my
GT3.
I'll pick the GT3. That's right.
Wow, surprise! That shocked me. I thought you would beat the 9. Okay, but you know what?
Okay.
Guys, you guys may or may not know. This is interesting lore, Porsche lore. Right? Am I disconnecting or actually, the Nissan GTR beat the 997 GT3 RS on Nürburgring. So Porsche was like, 9. It's impossible. These Japanese people, they can beat with their GTR, right? So they came out with the GT2 RS. I think it's an interesting. I like it because the whole idea of the Godzilla, right? Godzilla come from the east, and then if you watch the Pacific Rim, right? The machines are called Jaegers. Jaegers is a German word for hunter. So Jaeger versus Kaiju or Godzilla. So now the Jaeger has raced to the occasion to fight the Kaiju, and of course they win.
Wow, that was a good analogy. Yeah, I
like it. I like that. I like the fact that the motorsport guys just want to push the limits of engineering. Yeah. So let's look at the comments here. Let's see. This is a tough choice, right? Let's see. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Let's see.
992. Wait. Wow. Okay, that's one you guessed correct. Okay, let's see. Mitesh say 997. 991.2 from Sean. Derek say 99 GT3 from G Aunlum. Oh, GT2 RS. All right, GT3, and yes, in this color. You guys get a room. GT3. I think it's better.
Yeah.
Power is not crazy. Yeah, Derek, you're right. For me, you see, left side is what Adrian likes. Right side is my knees get weak for GT Silver. Every time I see a silver color Porsche, I'm like, oh, my legs. Derek is 997, 991.2 GT3. Wow, okay.
Wow, 0 2. Wow.
He guessed wrongly. Okay. So many. Okay, quite balanced. You might know what I pick. I will pick the GT2 RS because it's the story. The story behind the Kaiju beat the Jaeger. Jaeger is like, no surrender. 9. Cut all the brakes. No more holiday. Come back. Do research. beat the Japanese. And I do like the. For me, I find the 997 got a bit more charm than 991. The design, the look feels more charming to me.
It does.
Personal preference. Yeah.
It does.
And in this silver color and that satin rims, I mean, Oh, you.
No. Are you?
So I picked
I mean, fair point. We will agree to disagree.
the Fire 997. Kon is 99 GT2 RS by Whisker to me. Ooh,
Whisker,
okay, so in this segment, round 2, me and Adrian disagree. We both pick different cars, right?
All right.
All right, let's take the last one. Last one, round 3. Oh, okay, round 3, we ascend to a different price range. Talking about second price range. Okay, let's move to round 3. Now I know Adrian is a big fan of a ducktail. Ducktail, sorry. Of modern Porsches also, right? Old and modern, right? So this one, of course, you know what car, right?
Yeah.
Is this?
Yeah.
The 918 Spider. Now it's make a joke, no? People say, oh, why? I say I cannot afford the 918 Spider, so I get a 981 Spider. I love the design so much because it reminds me of the Carrera GT and still look modern and still look classic. The Porsche's design just do so well with it. They blend the modern and classic together. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Hypercar.
Nice.
For me, if there's a pinnacle, if there's a pinnacle in any car I ever won in my life, the top of it is this car, the 918 Spider. When I saw this in person in London, parked in London with the roof down, I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, like I was stunned. Ridiculous.
Nice.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Yes, Mitesh saw one on the road, felt the dizziness. I feel you, man. It's such a beautiful car. And the fact that Porsche could rival the McLaren P1, the La Ferraris, and they produce this in much higher volumes than those other two manufacturers. This guy is ballsy, man. Porsche is really ballsy. Okay, so would you pick this?
Yeah. Okay.
Would you pick? Right? Ducktail?
I know this car. It's a resto mod. It's a resto mod. Yeah, everyone will know it.
What is this?
Resto mod.
What's this?
The exhaust of this is orgasmic.
Oh, look at that gear knob. And yes, we're talking about a Singer.
Yep.
Look at the dials, man. Singer for me is like a work of art. It's like every Singer is like a work of art. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Correct.
Ridiculous.
That's right. Oh.
I knew this. I'm looking at your face. I want to see how you react.
I think you know lah. I'm a big fan of ducktails, and also I love the old school, the big Porsches in the back there, split in the back there. Yeah, this too is like make the knees go weak lah. Tell you, really make the knees go weak.
You can actually see where the engine sits. It's actually behind the axle.
Correct. That's right.
You can see the engine placement is right behind the axle. You can see that.
This what you should do is that actually the piece de resistance for this car will be the exhaust. You Google for the exhaust, how they crafted the exhaust to you for. It's a 5-star porn. Same cup DVD.
Oh my God. Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
So we're talking about a 964 reimagined by Singer. This specific model, this one, okay?
Yeah.
So 918 Spider, the hypercar, almost 1,000 horsepower. Silver car. Look at that car. Silver is ridiculously beautiful, man. And this 964. Let's say if someone comes to you and say, bro, I'm gonna give you this, you pick one.
Fuchs rim for the win. Fuchs.
Fuchs?
Fuck.
Ridiculous. Singer.
100%.
Really, Singer?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a shadow of a doubt, some more. So you pass on a 918 Spider, let's say theoretically is there for a singer.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's one of the most ridiculous hypercar ever created. And you pass it on for a singer.
Yeah. Something about the singer is, I don't know, like it's
P1 P1 does with solid roof, right? You know, Ferrari also super hardcore. And 918 Spider offers it with a convertible, you know, like.
No, don't get me wrong. Actually, I saw the 918 Spider when it first released in the Porsche Museum. I went to Zuffenhausen. There was no 918 Spider there. I could molest the car, touch the car, run my fingers along the grill at the back there. Oh, it's ASMR. I mean, don't get me wrong. Lovely piece of art. Modern art. The back one is a classic art. So it's very different. Yeah, but the one that stirs the loins will be the singer.
Loins.
Yeah, that's right.
Thomas, you got the 918 cap. Oh, thanks, Chris. Chris sold me this cap. Thank you so much. I love this cap. Okay, so Adrian picks the singer. Right? Yeah, okay. So we got singer here. Let's see. Singer, hands down. Magnus Walker. Okay, singer every day. Okay. Nia singer. Singer Williams. 918 Spider. All right, lip sync over here. Spider. Okay. Oh, Spider. Oh, yes, more Spider.
More Spider, definitely.
Singer, you can't use power already. I'm happy I'm not Adrian because I have to make this decision. Hard time. Singer, Spider, singer.
Singer.
Horizon, I don't know who's using that account. 918, you have to own. Yeah, okay. Wow, Max, no, you got a chicken. Oh my god.
Been there. I like.
I would love to sit in one in my life one day. Oh my god.
Indeed.
Yeah. If not happy with singer, can sell singer again. I want it with extra change.
He's right. The singer costs a lot of money. The singer.
Yeah, both around 900K lah. This specific one is 900K US dollars.
Yeah, correct.
And Spider is around 800K to 1 mil also lah. But
correct.
Josiah, my friend, recently we were just chatting, and he's like, he has a point. He said the singer is 1 out of 1. Every singer is 1 out of 1. Every car, there's no other singer that looks the same. That's the beautiful part of a singer, where the Spider, you have a bunch of cars, less than 1,000 around now. So I actually, if I was to I'd be very tough too. Because I do like the singer. For me, okay, sorry, anyone out here who like RWB. Sorry, I feel RWB is like street art. It's like street art lah. Like
what? I like RWBs.
It's like you street art, you know, the lifestyle, the street art, you know, they go go spray, you know, they got street art.
Wow.
The 964 is like going to the museum. It's like wow, you know, like beautiful art. The 964 is a work of art, man, and so it's a tough one. If one day really, let's say I you know, something good happen and I can afford one of these cars one day, I'd be really stressed out if I have someone say, hey bro, remember the time you show Adrian this thing? Bro, you want to buy the singer, right? My friend going to let go of the singer. Then you're like, oh, you say lo, nia sing.
Oh well. Yes, bro. What would be your choice?
Oh, this is hard.
Indeed. For me, easy choice. Ending
okay. I will pick the 918 Spider. Because the singer is not a real Porsche.
All the singer fans there. Burn this mugger, burn him down. Take him down.
Unsubscribe.
Wow. Okay.
Here's the logic. I love the 964, and I do like to get involved with my car if I restore it. So buy the 918 Spider. Let go of the singer, although it feels like a bad decision, and then buy a 964 and then restore it. But it's still not a singer. But, no, it's 1 out of 1. It's 1 out of 1. No, a singer is the car. There's a car meet. You take your people who drive a 458 or 488 or maybe a F8 Tributo, and then you drive a Singer. Everyone will run around the Ferraris and oh my god! And then the guys who drive the F8 Tributo, they'll walk over to the Singer and say, "Oh my god, it's the Singer!"
Yeah.
yeah. It's
cool
that
thing
way around. The guys who they will come over and oh my god, it's a Singer! Yeah.
Correct. So what I will say is that the Singer is actually a enthusiast car. It means you need to know it's a Singer to know it's a thing. For 918, well, you show to the pasar malam auntie say, wow, this one must be very expensive for this car. For the Singer, you bring auntie say, Aiya, why the car looks so old? I mean, to the uninitiated, but for those in the know, they know it's a very special car.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Special indeed. The lack of a better word. Just don't know what to say. Just beyond special. Yeah. But yeah, so in this, both me, Adrian, disagree or agree to disagree.
Oh well, there's no loser, there's no winner. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
It's just good to have a good laugh about it, lah. And to see Adrian's face like, It's so interesting to see that he was okay impressed by the 918, but then when he saw the ducktail, he's like, whoa, ducktail. All right, guys, this is the end of the show. Nothing much to say. Please make sure you stay safe. Any parting words, Adrian?
I think end of the day, just stay safe, like everyone. Hope that everybody get through this pandemic. Make sure that you get plenty of rest. Stay healthy. That's all.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and one of the reasons why I feel committed to do more live shows and Horizon doing more live shows, because it's a way of sometimes we get so stuck at home and depressed and we're not talking to people, right? And just sometimes connect at the comment sections. Sometimes I do car wash and I just open my comment, so you can just talk to somebody. The social distancing doesn't mean you have no social life, Correct, and it's just good to have, like those times you go to a party and then you talk to new people, meet new friends. We want this place to be like that also. Okay, so yeah, stay safe mentally too. Stay safe healthily as well. And kita jaga kita. Make sure we put our mask on. Don't go out if you don't need to. Yeah, and just stay safe lah. Yeah. Okay. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, Adrian. Thank you so much for joining me. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had fun as well.
Thanks, Thomas. I think I went out for a while to already came back already.
TMI, too much information.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna end it with that. Thank you so much. Love you guys. See you in the next episode of Top Gear. All right. See you guys. Bye bye. Good night.
See you guys. Bye. Good night.